girl this way.
All right now, let's talk about Biv DeVoe. You know them, you love them. You definitely tried to do their dance moves back in the day. They were the cats who stepped out of New Edition's shadow and dropped Poison, a track so infectious. It basically defined the New Jack Swing era. Smooth suits, killer choreo, chart domination, they had it all.
You just can't show it.
But hold up, if they were that massive, why did it feel like they vanished faster than MC Hammer's baggy pants went out of style? Was their own Poison actually toxic to their careers? Did the industry chew them up and spit them out on purpose? And honey, let me tell you, the secrets behind BBD's rise and near fall are juicier than you think. Forget the clean version, this is the real tea. Okay, quick rewind. Before BBD was BBD, they were Ricky Bell, Michael Bivins, and Ronnie DeVoe. Yeah, the other guys in New Edition. While Bobby Brown was being Bobby Brown and Ralph Tresvant was crooning lead, these fellas were kind of holding down the background. Talented? For sure. Getting the spotlight? Not so much. Picture this. Late 80s, New Edition is pure chaos. Bobby's been kicked out for Wilden, Ralph's got one foot out the door dreaming of solo stardom, and new guy Johnny Gill is shifting the vibe. The labels scratching their heads, wondering what to do with the R&B boy band blueprint they basically invented. Enter the legendary producers Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, fresh off making Janet Jackson a global icon. Miss Jackson, if you're nasty. They peep the situation and have a light bulb moment. They tell Ricky, Mike, and Ronnie, look, forget trying to out-sing Ralph and Johnny. Y'all got that street edge, that hip-hop flavor. Let's cook up something new. They weren't thinking side project. They were thinking survival. Mix hip-hop and R&B? Nobody was really doing it like that. Focus on swag. Done. Create a whole new lane? Say less. And just like that, Biv DeVoe was born out of necessity, not as some fluffy little spin-off. This was a power move, y'all. So BBD hits the studio and cooks up Poison. Now get this, the label hated it at first. Can you believe it? Too aggressive, too raw, not R&B enough. Honey, they wanted smooth ballads, not basement beats. As Michael Bivins apparently put it later, explaining their sound, they wanted mentally hip-hop, smoothed out on the R&B tip with a pop feel appeal. The execs just weren't ready.
And the number one new pop artist, Ricky Bell, Michael Bivins, and Ronnie DeVoe are BBD.
But when that track hit the radio, bam, instant classic. Explosion! It wasn't just a song, it was the anthem of New Jack Swing. Forget easing in, BBD kicked the door down.
Biv DeVoe.
Well,
their first album, also titled Poison, flew off the shelves. We're talking over 4 million copies. 5 hit singles back to back. They were everywhere. MTV, BET, radio, world tours. The suits were fly. The choreography was tighter than spandex, and their swag was on 1,000. They proved they didn't need the original NE frontmen to dominate. BBD wasn't just a group. They were a whole mood, a cultural moment. For a hot minute, they were running the game. But you know what they say about Hollywood. The bigger you are, the harder they try to bring you down.
it's your thing. Biv DeVoe.
Okay, let's get into the real nitty-gritty, because this is where the shiny surface starts cracking. Even with millions sold and worldwide fame, the industry suits still treated BBD like the temporary help, not the main event. The pressure cooker was on. First off, that massive success came with a price tag. Pressure, honey. The label, seeing dollar signs, rushed them back into the studio. Give us another Poison. But lightning doesn't strike twice on command, okay? Their second album, Hootie Mac, yeah, remember that one? Blink and you missed it. Felt rushed. The promotion was weak sauce. The industry, already sniffing around for the next big thing, basically shrugged. Hootie Mac did okay, but compared to Poison, it was like comparing a firecracker to a nuclear bomb. The same execs who were riding their coattails suddenly went silent. Cold world. You start wondering, did the label want them to fail after cashing in? Make it make sense. Now here's the heartbreaking part. While BBD was trying to stay afloat professionally, Ricky Bell was drowning personally. The fame, the pressure, the unresolved New Edition drama, it was eating him alive. Behind the superstar facade, Ricky was deep in a battle with drug addiction. He admitted later that he was spiraling, spending crazy money, thousands a week, just to keep the demons at bay. And here's the kicker: platinum records, sold out shows, and nobody taught these young brothers how to handle that sudden wealth.
Time that I would call her and say, hey, I'm just letting you know I'm using right now, and I'll call you when I'm done.
Financial literacy? Please. The industry gave them checks, but no guidebook. So when the stress hit, Ricky turned to substances to cope.
And I got a backpack just full of cocaine and pills and just every drug you could possibly imagine. And
He thought he had it under control, but addiction doesn't play fair. And the industry that was making bank off their hits? Crickets. No support system, no check-ins, no rehab offers from the suits. Just use them up and move on. Ricky said he got so low he didn't even care if he lived or died. Imagine that. Feeling that disposable after being on top of the world. That's the dark side of the flashing lights, y'all. By the mid-90s, the music scene shifted again. New Jack Swing, the very sound BBD pioneered, was fading out. Smoother R&B, like Jodeci and Boyz II Men, plus hardcore hip-hop, were taking over. BBD was caught in the middle, too edgy for slow jams, not hard enough for the rap charts. Did the label help them evolve? Nope. They basically threw their hands up. Marketing dried up. Radio stopped playing their new stuff. It was like Teddy Riley, Guy, Keith Sweat. That whole era got caught in the changing tides, and the labels weren't investing in life rafts. BBD went from trendsetters to struggling to keep up. Add Ricky's worsening addiction and the financial strain that comes when the hits stop. It was a perfect storm for disaster. Platinum plaques don't pay the bills when the checks stop coming and addiction takes hold. Broke after selling millions? It happens more than you think in this business. Just when you thought BBD was down for the count, destined to be just another 90s trivia question, they pulled off a plot twist. First, Ricky hit absolute rock bottom. His wife, Amy Correa Bell, finally gave him that tough love ultimatum: get help or lose everything. And thank God he chose help. He checked into rehab, faced his demons head on, and started the long road back. As Ricky himself has said about overcoming challenges, you gotta keep pushing. He didn't just get clean, he came back with a purpose. Now, while Ricky was healing, BBD as a group had a choice: fade away like the industry expected, or fight back. They chose fight. Forget chasing radio trends or begging labels. They went back to basics: the fans. They hit the road, playing anywhere and everywhere, reminding people why they fell in love with BBD in the first place. And guess what? The fans never left. Social media started popping, and a whole new generation discovered Poison. Their influence was undeniable. Suddenly, the same industry that ignored them had to pay attention again. They weren't just a nostalgia act. They were legends reclaiming their throne, this time on their own terms. Talk about a glow-up. So, where do the BBD boys stand today? Let's talk numbers and legacy. Ricky Bell, Michael Bivins, and Ronnie DeVoe are all in their 50s now. Looking good, fellas. As for the cash, net worth estimates are tricky, but reports often place their individual net worths anywhere from $1 million to maybe $5 million each, with some fluctuations depending on touring and royalties. Not Jay-Z money maybe, but for artists who survived the industry grinder, battled personal demons, and rebuilt their careers, that's a win. Especially considering Mike Bivins is also a sharp businessman who discovered and managed Boyz II Men back in the day. Talk about having an ear for talent and longevity. What will they be most remembered for? Obviously, Poison and defining the sound of New Jack Swing. But more than that, their story is about resilience. They're the ultimate proof that you can step out of someone else's shadow, create your own lane, survive the industry machine, overcome personal hell, and still be selling out shows decades later. Their influence is stamped all over R&B and hip-hop. configurations. They dropped the album Three Stripes in 2017, which actually hit #1 on the iTunes R&B chart, proving the magic was still there. And let's not forget the impact of the New Edition story biopic on BET in 2017. Honey, that thing was huge. 29 million viewers. It reminded everyone of the drama, the talent, and the importance of all the members, giving BBD a massive boost and renewed respect. Today, they operate as savvy legacy artists. They know their audience, they control their brand, and they deliver unforgettable performances. They faced the poison, found the antidote, and are still rocking crowds.